Hey guys, happy holidays! It is the season of doing too much and it being okay. So I'm going to get you ready with some amazing gift guides, some holiday outfit lookbooks, but first, let's get this makeup together. I've got a gorgeous holiday makeup look, and here's how you get it. So starting with clean and moisturized skin, add a primer if you need it. I'm going to start with the COVERFX Total Cover Cream in N110, and I'm applying that with a damp beauty blender. So it's important when you use your beauty blender to dampen it, get it wet a little bit, squeeze all the excess water out so that the beauty blender is damp, because that is the magic in how the beauty blender works and how it's going to make your foundation look gorgeous, flawless, seamless, and all the good stuff. And just as a heads up, you might see some parts in this video where the light keeps changing, and that's because it was very windy that day, so the clouds kept moving the sun, and I use natural light for my videos, so the sun kept going in and out of the clouds. Well, the clouds kept moving because it was so windy, is the more accurate term. So after I apply the foundation, I'm going to set that. Here I'm using the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat powder foundation. I'm not going to use a ton of that because this is a foundation. I don't want to be all cakey or anything like that. And I'm using this brush from Eco Tools. So now we're moving on to filling in my brows. I'm using the L'Oreal Brow Stylist in Brunette. It looks like I just remembered something here. But I love this brow pencil. It's a great dupe for the Anastasia Brow Wiz. It's double-ended. It's got a nice point on it that allows you to fill in the brows. My apologies for you not being able to see this very well because of the camera angles, but I did film a video of me doing my brows with some really obnoxiously close angles so that you'd be able to see that a little better. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe so you can know when it's coming out. But of course here I've done the liberty of showing you where you typically mark where your brows begin and end, depending on the difference in distance between, well, what I just showed you. So I have like a good strong brow, but I still want my brows to look natural. So what I do when I fill them in is I use very light hair-like strokes, and then if I need to go in again to make it a little more bolder, or maybe if I missed a spot, I'll go in again. But I start out very light and then I build it up. Next, I'm priming my eyes. I don't think this comes in this kind of packaging anymore, but yeah, I've been using the Urban Decay Primer Potion for years, and I also like Lorax eyeshadow primer. But we're using a primer here to make sure the eyeshadow stays on all day. Then next, I'm using this. When I start my eye makeup, I always use like a lighter color as my first base color. Here, I'm using a matte beige, and I'm blending that in. You always want to make sure you blend. Use windshield wiper motions back and forth to make sure you blend because you don't want any harsh lines. You want that to look seamless. But I use this light color because I like to have build up, but you know what I mean. I like to have a foundation for the next shades to go on so that they look more apparent and they look more strong and pigmented, and that's something that typically is a good trick to do with darker skin tones like mine. You start with a lighter base and then build it up. So here I'm using a skinnier eyeshadow brush and I'm working on my crease transition color, and again I'm doing a back and forth windshield wiper motion. This helps to define my eyes, and it's almost like if you can kind of think of what highlighting and contouring does for your overall face. This is kind of like highlighting and contouring for the eyes. So I want my the crease of my eyes to look more sunken in or more drawn back, and then the lids to pop out more. So this is what I'm doing here. So now I'm going to take a flat eyeshadow brush and I'm going to use a deep aubergine shade to further define my crease. You can also use something like a dark brown or any dark color, but here I'm using this aubergine color because I just really love how it looks. So I'm basically just gliding this brush, following the natural line of my crease and just making it more defined and just making that eye pop. So using that to define the crease, and of course we do not want harsh lines in our makeup, so I'm going to take a fluffy eyeshadow brush. This is just the brush that comes with a lot of the Anastasia palettes, and I'm going to again use the windshield wiper movements back and forth just to make sure that's blended out so you get definition but you don't want a harsh line. I'm gonna make my eyes pop by using a lighter color on the lid. So we use the darker color to make it recede, and we're gonna use the lighter color to just make it poppin'. Poppin'. You'll see. It'll be poppin'. And I'm just taking a slightly bigger, fluffy eyeshadow brush and blending the colors into each other. We don't want lines of demarcation, but you don't want to overblend so that everything looks all muddy. And here we go with the light that I was telling you about. So I was using this for the very first time on camera. It's a glitter primer by NYX, and it helps to keep glitter in place and make your eye look more neat. I'm actually going to be using a pigment here, so I didn't necessarily need this, but it very much helped to keep the pigment in place, make it look more intense, and I didn't need as much product, which is good because you know sometimes when you're using loose pigments or glitters, sometimes you do tend to lose some with fallout, but because I had that primer there, it just stuck right on. So because I was looking down into the mirror, I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss any places that needed to be blended properly, so I had to pick up the mirror and just make sure I didn't miss anything. Then I'm going to line my eyes. Love this liner, been using it for years. But of course it was very difficult leaning into that mirror, so my bad. I needed to see the liner so that I didn't poke myself in the eye. But I'm basically just lining my eyes. You have other videos on how I line my eyes if you can't see that you can check out. So I wanted to smudge my liner on the bottom, so I'm using this smudging brush, you know, just to give it like a bit of a smoky, smoldering, sexy kind of look. And then of course I'm putting mascara. I'm not worried about a gazillion coats because I'm just going to put lashes on later, but I like to put mascara on first because it helps my lashes to blend in more with the fake lashes that I'm going to put on top. And don't worry if you make a mistake with your mascara or your liner. I'm going to show you a really quick and easy trick that you can do to make it look like you were a pro and you didn't make any mistakes. Because you know, a lot of times you guys ask me how do I get my bottom line so neat. I'm going to show you my trick. Are you ready for it? Because it's coming. It's coming! So yeah, the trick is really simple. Just take a dampened Q-tip, erase any mistakes, take the dry end to erase the wet end, and boom! Perfect eyes. So now moving on to highlighting and contouring. If you want to learn more about this, and also if you need to go over some basics about foundation again, make sure you go back on my YouTube because I have a video on Foundation 101 and also a video on highlighting and contouring and why I do it and other techniques. If you want to check that out, it is back on my YouTube. And while I have you here, make sure you're subscribed and that you're following me on social. Yes, make sure you follow me. I'm a hoot. I mean, do I have to tell you I'm a hoot? You can see it. So yeah, and there's also a post on the blog, which will be linked in the description box, on why I highlight and contour and some other information. There's also swatches on tons of different foundations and reviews, and also a guide as to why you cannot use MAC as a foundation equivalent. I know we like to use that a lot because some people find it helpful, but you'll just check the link in the description box to read the post. You'll see why I even said that. So now I'm setting my highlight with Ben Nye Cocoa Tan. Make sure you check out the link in the description box. I have swatches of some of the different Ben Nye powders and also a post on different highlight setting powders for dark skin because we are not all banana. Hello. Check it out in the description box. And then moving on to contour, I'm so happy Cover FX came out with their new shades last year. Check out the link in the description box. There will be a post on the different shades. This one is like the perfect deep reddish brown. So it can kind of work as a bronzer as well, depending on your skin tone. If you're maybe a little bit lighter than me or around my complexion and you're looking for something to give you some warmth around your perimeter, or are you looking for a reddish brown contour, I love this color. So I'm going to let the powder sit, or bake as some people call it, and I'm going to move on to lashes. I love this lash glue. It's by a makeup artist by the name of Vanessa Myron, who I love. This is the lock-on lash glue. You can, as you can see, you can apply it like a liquid liner, and then you can just pop the lashes on. It makes applying lashes so easy. I'll have a link in the description box where you can buy lock-on lash, so make sure you check it out. So another thing about lashes and making it super easy to put them on, thanks to my makeup artist friend Andy Yancey, I look down in a mirror now when I apply my lashes, so that way you can really see what you're doing. So you're aiming to get that lash right where the hairs are coming out of your eyelid. There's a little groove there, and that's exactly what you're looking for. And you're gonna make sure that the band of the lash goes right there, and then you're gonna secure it and press down gently. If you need to, you can use a pair of tweezers to kind of steady it on your lashes. I prefer to just use my hands because it's so much easier for me. Or some of the lashes even come with a lash applicator guide thingy that you could use to get your lashes on. So after I get my lashes on, I'm going to sit for a few minutes and let that powder set or bake, and then I'm going to move on to the next step. I bake, which is maybe 10 to 15 minutes. I take a big fluffy brush and I dust off the excess powder, and I make sure I'm all blended because we do not want any harsh lines, especially with a highlight and contour. You want it to look seamless and the way that the face naturally looks when we don't even have any makeup on. So then I'm adding blush. The darker your skin, the brighter the blush. Trust me, it's going to look beautiful. But I'm adding blush especially because once we put on foundation and things like that, sometimes we want to add dimension back to the face and add a little color. So I'm doing that with my blush. And then I'm taking this big fluffy brush to blend it all out because I do not want any harsh lines or anything. Don't blend too much. And it's the holidays, the season of doing too much, so of course I'm going to add some highlight in addition to that because, you know, highlight, glitter on the eyelids, brows, highlight contour. It's the holidays, let's do it. And then again, I'm taking that big fluffy brush and making sure that my highlight is blended in so that it looks seamless, so that it doesn't look like I just, you know, dunked my whole face in highlighter powder. And we're done. I just need to pick out a lip color. But lucky for you, I filmed a whole holiday lip color try-on video, so make sure you check that out. It should be the next upload. If not, it'll be there soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Thumbs up if you want to see more makeup videos. Leave a comment below if you have any questions on anything that I did here. Also, make sure you check out my holiday series, 'Tis the Season. I'm going to have some gift guides and other fun things, so make sure you check it out. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.